Hello, hello, crafty peeps. Welcome back to my channel, Crafty-ish Kristyn. Welcome to my Christmas premiere. I'm happy to have you, and I hope you have a snack, a craft, and something to drink while we hang out over the next hour and hang out and just chit and chat. If you don't know what a Christmas premiere is, it's a bunch of crafty peeps joining together for days of non-stop videos. I will have a playlist linked below with all of the channels that are participating this year. There are some fabulous premieres, and I highly recommend that you go and check it out. You may just find a new crafty friend that you want to watch. I'm going to go over the supplies that I am using. This canvas is called Holiday Fun, and the artist is Regan Kubicek. This canvas is from Ever After Diamond Painting, and as you can see, I am almost done. We will be working right here today. I also have release papers from Bee's Crafty Corner. I have some of the Regan Kubicek branded Care Bear papers, as well as the Pink and Black 2026 papers, and that is an event that Mushmello at Dark and Creepy Diamond Painting and I are hosting starting January 1st. I will have that information linked below. There is a video if you are interested in checking that out. I also have a few cover minders. This one is from Jeni Designs on Etsy. These two were gifts, so I'm not entirely sure where they are from. This is a Bijou Bliss tray, and this is the butter tray. Perfect for the holiday season, as some of us do a little more baking than normal. I am using Grayson Creations Intergalactic Putty in Sugar Cookie Smell. Very appropriate again. And I have a Flawa Designs pen. This is my favorite sized pen. It is a mini pen, and I feel like it just fits my hand a little bit better than some of the big chunker pens. And this is a Zap Designs pen. They are on Facebook, and they use recycled paint to make one-of-a-kind stunning pens. I think that is all the supplies that I have at the moment. Let me zoom in and we will get started. Don't go anywhere. If you are watching this video at the time that it is a live premiere, don't forget to go down in the comments and swipe them over to participate in the live chat. Hopefully I will be in the live chat and I won't be sick or otherwise indisposed. For my Christmas premiere, I thought it would be kind of fun and appropriate to talk about holiday crafting, right? A lot of us, if we are crafty people, tend to maybe make homemade gifts or want to take on elaborate projects this time of year. I grew up watching my mom make Christmas presents, and so naturally, as an adult, I decided a lot of times, like, oh, hey, I could make that. How hard is that going to be? And there have been some times where I have had very lofty goals and thinking things were going to come out one way when they don't come out at all. Yeah, I thought it'd be fun to maybe reminisce, go down memory lane, and talk about some of those times. I think it's very easy to see a picture of something somebody's made online, especially nowadays with Pinterest and Facebook and all of these places where we can share things that we've done, that we've made. You know, we've all seen the people who go on vacation and they have their perfect family photos, and you think, oh man, I want to go somewhere. I want to take a family picture like that. And I think it's a good reminder too that a lot of times people put the best version of something online. Sometimes we don't share the back the back end, the nitty gritty, the ugly side of things. I know that I've learned over the years to try and stop comparing myself to others online. It never works, and it never makes you feel good about yourself. I would love to know in the live chat or the comments, what is something that you have done in the holidays? Maybe a project, a family outing that you thought, hey, this is going to be fun and magical, and it was a dumpster fire, crash and burn situation. We all can commiserate together. One thing that I've tried over the years, many times, you think I would learn by now, but I don't. I'm a glutton for punishment. I've tried buying things that involve painting. Usually the things that I buy are little things with lots of detail, little fiddly things, like wooden ornaments with lots of lines that you need to fill in, or little ceramic figurines, or little Christmas village type stuff. You would think I would learn, but I don't. I do it every couple years. I think, okay, we're going to try this, and how bad could it be? Spoiler alert, it's always a fail. I don't know why I do it to myself, and I do it to my family too. Usually what happens is I buy something. Like last year, it was these little Christmas village figurines. They're white porcelain, ceramic things, and it comes with a set of paints, which they're always horrible paints, and it comes with paintbrushes. Paintbrushes are always horrible as well, and way too big for the little fiddly details. And I think we're all going to sit down and we're all going to paint one, and we're going to listen to Christmas music and have cocoa, and it's going to be great. Yeah. You think I would know. You think I would know. And usually what happens is somebody gets paint somewhere they don't want it to be, or the paintbrush gets those little bristles on things. Never mind the fact that we have a gajillion decent paintbrushes. Or the paint isn't the color that it looks in the little container, or, a bunch of different things. And every time I'm like, why do we do this? Why do I think this is going to be, fun and relaxing? Because I see other people. Oh, look, we painted these as a family. It doesn't turn out that way. I would love to know why these companies give you this junky paint that requires multiple coats. Who can make something super detailed and cover it with multiple coats of paint? I mean, maybe a superhero, but not me. I'm not a superhero. I can maybe get it on the area one time, but 2 times in a row in the same exact spot? Come on, bro. No. Usually everybody gives up and leaves frustrated and annoyed and giving me the side eye, like, why did you think that this was going to be a good idea? I don't know. Who else has had a painting fail when it comes to some kind of holiday craft? Another holiday craft tradition that I have overthought and over dreamt that was going to be amazing is gingerbread houses. We went on a field trip one year from school, and it was to this gingerbread house. I don't know. There was a hotel basically, and it was all these amazing gingerbread houses. And I was like, oh man, we gotta, let's make a big old gingerbread house this year, right? Never mind the fact that we can't even make a gingerbread house out of graham crackers that stays up. For some reason, my brain thought, we can make a gingerbread mansion, right? How hard could it be? And quickly, I learned that it was going to be a gingerbread tear down. It looked like, maybe the gingerbread house had been hit by a tornado or something. Quickly, definitely had to reevaluate and scale down my grand ideas of that particular year. And we don't attempt a gingerbread house every year. But again, like the painting, I get a wild hair and I think this is going to be the year that this works out for us. We've tried going basic with the graham crackers and the frosting. We've tried the pre-built kits where everything is already assembled. Highly recommend those if you're going to do it. And then we've also purchased, more middle ground where all the pieces are individual and you're supposed to assemble them together. And I feel like no matter what way we go, I always think that the gingerbread houses are going to turn out much more epically than they do. Never mind the fact that they come with powdered icing that you're supposed to mix up yourself that never really works. It's never as stiff as it should be to hold candy or the siding together. So I always end up buying way more candy than I should because I want variety. I want it to look amazing. I think that, we're going to be going on the Food Network Gingerbread House Challenge. And so we need to spend $50 on candy. And then I'm shocked when all my kids want to do is sit there and eat the candy. I mean, because why wouldn't you just want to eat the candy? That's much more fun than trying to build a gingerbread house and decorate it. And the icing never seems to really stick the candy on there in a nice way. My husband finally, because I was always thinking, it has to be fully edible. And he said one year, he goes, it's not going to be edible because it's just going to fall down. And that's when he decided he was going to, I think he was using an industrial hot glue gun and he glued it together. I was so horrified. I was like, no, please don't. Now it's, the magic is ruined, right? It's not. It did stay up that year, but it didn't look good. It looked very, it looked like it was glued together with hot glue. And so the next year he used caulking. I said caulk. And that was at least white, but you have to make sure that you don't accidentally, think that you're putting it on your hand, right? And thinking, oh, frosting, yum, 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 which it didn't smell like frosting. It smelled like, some kind of industrial glue. And we even have tried over the years to find, the best icing recipe, the stickiest icing, blah, blah, blah. And, it's never good enough. I always feel like when we're doing it as a family, I'm sitting there holding the candy in place while one of the kids is putting more candy down and, just trying to constantly keep it from sliding off. It's frustrating when you have a vision of what you want something to look like in your mind, but you can't make it come to life in front of you for various reasons. Maybe it's the icing isn't staying where you want it to, or maybe you don't have the right size candy and you can't cut them down. I'm not sure why my brain thinks that we are all going to be top level pastry chef decorators when it comes to putting crappy candy on a stale gingerbread house, but in my brain, I feel like we have this maybe list of things we want to do, or maybe we've seen something online where everybody goes, okay, we're gonna make gingerbread houses, and then we're gonna go get our Christmas tree and we're gonna cut it down as a family and we're gonna decorate it and we're gonna do all these things. And it's so easy to compare ourselves to what everyone else is doing, and we have to remember that, we're all different. We all have different strengths and weaknesses, and just because other people are doing it doesn't mean we have to. And I also think, too, I have a lot of things that I enjoyed doing as a kid, and I'm guilty of maybe trying to force those traditions onto my kids. I know my favorite thing to do as a kid for Christmas was to bake with my mom and to decorate the Christmas tree. And neither kid really wants to decorate the Christmas tree. And I used to take it personally, thinking, oh my gosh, they don't want to decorate the Christmas tree. They hate the Christmas tree. And it's not that they hate the Christmas tree. It's they don't get the enjoyment out of decorating it like I did as a kid. And that's okay. Just because it's on someone else's list of things they have to do to create maximum holiday magic does not mean that you have to do it. You don't have to be, trying to make everybody miserable just to cross one more thing off the Christmas to-do list. And I'm telling myself that more than anything else. But if anyone does have any tips for gingerbread house building, let me know. Maybe I'll force my family to try it again in a year or two. I grew up with a mom who always was doing something crafty. She would make things for crafting bazaars, or she would make presents as gifts. She would sew, crochet, make cards, jewelry, all sorts of different things. And I learned how to sew at a semi-early age. I was probably elementary school. I mean, I didn't know how to do it very well, but I could do a straight stitch. I could make a rectangle, like a pillow. And I did learn how to quilt later on and assemble things, basic things. One year, I think it was right after Pinterest came out, which honestly, Pinterest is dangerous. There were these handmade stockings, and they were whimsical and creative, and they looked very much like Dr. Seuss Whoville stockings. They had tons of personality, and I fell in love with them. And I went to probably Joann's or something, and I bought the pattern. I actually bought the pattern, and I had all this Christmas fabric that, I had been saving because it was the good fabric. And I thought, okay, I'm going to use the good fabric. This is it. And I didn't really make a test stocking. Yeah. And I didn't really understand seam allowances. Even if I had, I don't think the stockings would have probably worked. They were more for looks, not for functionality. And I used all the good fabric. I did this, I did that. I was working after, my son went to bed because he was a toddler, and I was just, making him with love. There was some swearing involved too, but mainly love. And I thought, these are going to be traditional. We're going to hand these down to, I don't know, all the generations. I got no idea. And I made all three, right? I made all three, which probably shouldn't do. What I should have done was make one completely and then test it out, then potentially alter the next ones. But I didn't. I made them all kind of assembly line because I was trying to be efficient with my time. And I went to hang the first one up on the little stocking hanger on the fireplace. And it was hanging weird. I don't really know how to explain it besides it was very floppy. It was not keeping its shape. It was basically almost spiraling. And I thought, oh, that's not good. Well, maybe I need to put something in the stocking to weigh it down. And I put something in the stocking. Well, I tried to because not understanding seam allowances, the stocking got really narrow. And when I say really narrow, I mean really narrow. I couldn't really put anything in that stocking. That was, probably 14 years ago. And so DVDs were still something that people bought. Now, not so much, but back then. And I remember I had gotten some, I think, Thomas the Train Engine DVDs. And I tried putting one in there. And I couldn't even fit a DVD case in the stocking. And I was so upset. Here I am. It's, I don't know, probably a week before Christmas. I've spent all this time on these magical, whimsical freaking stockings that are going to change our lives. And they don't even fit a Thomas the Tank Engine DVD. And I think my husband came downstairs and I was just sitting on the floor bawling. He said, "What is wrong with you?" And I was like, "They don't work." And he said, "What do you mean they don't work?" And I said, "They don't work. They don't hold anything." He's like, "It can't be that bad." And then he, tried to put something in. He goes, "Oh, yeah." So I learned a few things. Number one, don't make 3 of something before testing it, obviously. And sometimes things don't work out the way we think they're going to. And while we couldn't necessarily use the stockings really as functional stockings, we did end up using them to play. I do still have them with all the Christmas decorations, and I use them to wrap up the stocking hangers every year. So I do get to see them. It's just they don't get to actually hold anything or have a function besides that. And now I look at them and I laugh, because I can laugh about it now. I couldn't laugh about it then. And that's sometimes what we have to do, is we have to pivot and accept that sometimes things don't work out the way that we maybe plan and anticipate them to. And that's okay. Does anybody have any sewing horrors they want to share? Please, please make us all feel better and share your Christmas sewing traumas with us. All right, how about some holiday baking? How about holiday baking? Some people might say the baking is not a craft. I would like to disagree. There is a definite skill involved to baking. Some people can just throw a bunch of random ingredients together and make something amazing, and others need a very carefully detailed recipe in order to make something that may not poison the entire family. When my son was a baby, we joined a mom's group in the area. And we were with some of the same moms for a few years. And the first year, there was a holiday party. And it was, for moms only, not the kids. And we all were supposed to bring, I think, a dessert. It was going to be like a gift exchange, like a $10 gift exchange and a treat exchange, right? Well, being the overachiever that I am sometimes, I wanted to make something amazing. And I found a recipe for some cupcakes. And they were chocolate chip cookie dough cupcakes. Yes, and they were as amazing as they sound. And I had never made this recipe before, but I felt like I'm fairly competent when it comes to baking. I can follow a recipe. And it was an elaborate recipe. I did not have time to pre-test the recipe. And I just figured, you know what? I can do this. I've baked. I've made cupcakes before. I know what I'm doing. This recipe was unique in the sense of you had to make these chocolate chip cookie dough balls, basically. Like a little ball of chocolate chip cookie dough. But it wasn't traditional cookie dough. I don't think it had the egg in it. But you were supposed to freeze it. Well, I didn't freeze it because I figured, well, that's dumb. Why do I need to freeze it? No, it was a very important step. And I didn't do that. And I ruined the first attempt. So then my husband had to go to the grocery store and buy more ingredients like butter because it used a ton of butter. And I had to reattempt to make it. So then I'm already kind of frazzled, right? Because when something goes wrong and you have to remake something, it shakes your confidence a lot. So he goes to the store and I'm thinking, okay, now I have less time to make these elaborate show-stopping cupcakes. And I still had to get myself ready to not look like I just rolled out of the sewer, because I'd been baking and sweating and all of that. I got myself ready, and then I had to make the second batch. And I was a little concerned because there was no way I was going to be able to freeze these, cookie dough balls, basically. And so I was like, okay, what can I do to cut out this step because I screwed it up and I ruined the dough? We figured out kind of a workaround to that. We altered it a little bit. My husband did help. Thank you, husband. And then I realized these cupcakes are going to be too warm to frost with the frosting, right? I mean, they literally were coming out of the oven and I had to get in my car and drive for, 20, 30 minutes. And it's December in Washington. It was chilly outside. I didn't think that just driving with my window down would help cool the cupcakes down enough so I could frost them. So I had the air conditioner cranked up to the highest level it could with all of the windows rolled down. I was freezing my booty cheeks off. And I get to the person's house and I parked down the street, which now I'm sitting there thinking, why didn't you just go in the house and say, hey, I still need to frost my cupcakes? But in my mind, I wanted it to look like, I had it all together and it was all perfect. So I attempted to frost the cupcakes in my car in the dark because it's winter. So it's, dark at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It didn't go well. And I got a lot of frosting on myself and the container that the cupcakes were in. They looked like garbage. They tasted good, but they did not look pretty. And then I was trying to sprinkle the mini chocolate chips, artfully over the crappily frosted cupcakes. And I got mini chocolate chips all over my car. They were in the car seat and they got on the floor, which some of them I didn't realize until, they got in a car seat, a kid's car seat. And then you put a kid in there and they sit and then they have brown and you don't know if it's chocolate chips or if it's something else brown. Yeah. I made a mess. I was a mess. I felt very flustered and messy. And I was like, why didn't I just, why didn't I make something easy? Why? But in my brain, I wanted it to be amazing and overachievery. And really, at the end of the day, people probably didn't invite me because, oh, she's going to bring a fancy schmancy dessert and all that. No, I was invited because I was part of a group, not because I was going to bring something elaborate. So again, should have kept it simple, but I didn't because in my brain, how hard could it be? I would love to know, what are your baking Christmas fails that you have had? Anytime where you've seen the red flags and just ignored them completely and thought, yeah, probably shouldn't do that, but I'm going to do it anyway. We have the worst luck, I swear, with appliances around Christmas time. There have been multiple years where around the holidays, we've had appliances completely crap out on us. And I always, give the appliances a side eye this time of year, thinking, okay, could you not break on me? Could you not leak? Could you not explode? Could you just do what you're supposed to do, pretty please? Thank you. Who remembers the good old days of Christmas cards? I feel like a lot of people don't send Christmas cards anymore. I don't actually. I've given up on it. Just because I would stress myself out about it. I'd send out 100 Christmas cards and I'd get maybe 3, 4, 5 in return. I'm like, why am I doing this to myself? Why am I doing this to myself? But who remembers, and I say the good old days, of just going down to the drugstore and buying a box of Christmas cards? Just something that you thought, oh, hey, this looks nice. This conveys the spirit of the season. Maybe it's a Bible quote. Maybe it's something with Santa on it. Maybe it's something funny. Maybe it's something that has some, inspiring message. And I'm not sure at what point in time that everybody got into the mindset of we have to have the photo cards, the matching outfits where everybody is looking tan and perfect and happy, where adults and children are wearing semi-matching, color-coordinated outfits. We tried for a few years to do a photo card. And it was one of those things where everyone else is doing it. So now I feel like I want to have a photo card so everybody can see how amazing my family is. Everybody can see that we're smiling and we're happy and we all love each other so much. But getting that picture perfect photo, at least for us, was never that laid back. Especially when you have little kids, they might not want to sit there and get the perfect photo. They may not want to wear the clothes that you pick out on that particular day, even though they said that they would. Or they picked out that red sweater. The texture might be wrong, or they might just change their mind, or they might decide to eat a bunch of chocolate before the photo, and then they get stains on their clothes, and then their clothes don't match, and then you have to try to figure Photoshop out and Photoshop them into a different outfit. I feel like there were many, many years where I would say, okay, we're going to go do this. We're going to take a picture. We're going to have somebody take a picture of us with this. And something would always happen. Like we would be trying to use a real camera and we'd get pictures and then they'd be blurry, or the focus wasn't good, or it was too dark, or it was too bright, or the color saturation wasn't this or this. And I didn't have any Photoshop skills, so if the photo wasn't good, there wasn't an easy way to photo correct the photo. Like now, I feel like there's so many app filters where if you look tired, you could just, put on something, or if the color's wrong, you can fix it. But, 10 years ago, it wasn't that easy to do. And everybody, oops, that is not the right one. That doesn't go there. I missed a drill right there. Back then it was like everybody had, oh, our family photo in Hawaii, or, oh, us at the pumpkin patch, and us here. And here I am going over to my in-laws' house, trying to find a bush or something that was still kind of green and not dead looking, and having us kind of stand in front of this bush that's poking us in the back, but it's a good backdrop. So we got to get this. Kids are miserable. We're trying to squat and not get our knees wet in the rain or the wet grass, just because, we live in Washington, so it's always wet. And making sure people are smiling all at the same time. You know how hard it is to get everybody to have a happy face and a smile that everybody approves of all at the same time. I am a blinker. I blink a lot. And so half the time, my eyes are closed in most of the photos that I take, even if there's no flash. And teenager is the same way. Ever since he was a baby, he has been a blinker. And my husband is not one to put on a big old fake smile. He has what some people would call resting you-know-what face. He just always looks disappointed in you. But he's not. It's just, he has a very serious face. And Sassy Lassie has inherited that from him. Even as a baby, she would be the same thing. It would almost look like she was glaring at you through the camera, and she's disapproving of what you're doing. And so I was like, I'm done with Christmas cards. I'm done trying to find the perfect photo to try to convince everybody that my family is, perfect and we don't have any problems and whatever. Like, no. My thought process on it now is that if you know us well enough, then, you can hear updates about our life. But I'm not going to send a Christmas letter sharing all the magical things that we've done over the year and how awesome and amazing, my family is. Because if you know us well enough, you know that my family is awesome, And also, I don't think my family wants me to try to force everybody outside to create a perfectly matched photo. Another thing I used to get really kind of bummed about was Christmas movie watching. I know people who have a whole list of Christmas movies that they watch every year as a family. And, again, trying to do what everyone else is doing, tried to create that holiday memory with my family as well. And unfortunately, like a lot of things, just because something works for somebody else doesn't mean it's going to work for you. And, not everybody in our family likes the same kinds of movies. Or even, there are people in the family that don't even really like to sit and watch movies. And trying to force somebody to sit and watch a movie with the family, and then not only try to have them sit and watch a movie, then when you have other people in the family who are constantly, getting up and getting in the way, or I have to pause, I have to pee, I have to get this, I need to go grab this, I need a snack, I need this, I need that. Sometimes no matter how many things you get ready before a movie, it doesn't matter. Somebody's always going to have to get up and go to the bathroom, or need another snack, or need to grab this, or need another blanket, or have to fidget. And some of the people in our family like to just sit there and watch a movie. We don't need commentary about the movie, and we get maybe a little more frustrated when people are talking over the movie or talking and explaining about what is going on in the movie. And others like to do those things. And again, instead of sitting there trying to fight it, I feel like we've had to just go, okay, this is not going to work for us. And that is okay, because just because it works for someone else doesn't mean it's gonna be the best thing for us. I feel like sometimes we all just need to lower our expectations of how we think things are going to go. And I'm saying this to myself, and maybe I'm saying it to you as well. And that sometimes we just have to go with the flow and accept that things are not going to be Pinterest perfect. They're not going to be what maybe we wanted them to be. But as long as we are creating some memories together, you know, and hopefully if things crash and burn, that we can look back on them later and laugh about them after the fact. Maybe not right away, but after the fact. I'm a firm believer that we learn from our mistakes and that it's okay to laugh at it afterwards. As long as we make some positive memories, I feel like, you know what, we're doing good. We got to take the little wins in life sometimes. Small victories are still victories. So here is where I have left off. Let me zoom out. Surprise! Looky what I got finished. I got the last few sections done in time for me to add it to the end of the video. I am so excited to have this painting done. This was my kind of one big holiday painting. This is finish number 27 for me for the year, and it will probably be my last large diamond painting finish. I have a few others started, but none very close to being finished. I did just notice there is a missing drill here, and there's a missing drill over here somewhere I just saw. I have not even rollered this yet. I was just so excited to finish it. If you have never tried an Ever After kit, highly recommend. The rendering, as you can see, looks fantastic. Colors are amazing. Drills are good. The glue is good. I have not had an issue with any of the Ever After canvases that I have done. I feel like this canvas being done is one of the perfect ways to finish off 2025. You might be asking yourself, what is in store for 2026? Great question, friends. I am going to be doing a little personal challenge for 2026, and it is called the 2-to-1 Stash Showdown. And the short version of what exactly that is, for every 2 newer kits that I start, I want to pull out an older one and make an attempt to finish them, because I bought them for a reason and I really want to get some of the older ones out of the back of the closet and get them done. I do have a video, I will link it below as well, that goes into a little bit more detail of what my idea is and how I think I am going to attack this idea. I may not be starting the 2-to-1 Stash Showdown until after January, and that is because Mushmellow from Dark and Creepy Diamond Painting and I are doing our pink and black event. This is year number 2 for us, and we definitely learned some things last year to make this year even bigger, better, and potentially messier than ever. I will list some videos down below with more information about that if you are interested. I have a video with some of the nitty-gritty details as well as mushy, and I thought I would show you guys a few of the canvases that I will be working on. I will put the pictures up on the screen because I don't really want to be dragging canvases out right now. The first kit that I will be working on is called Kawaii Kitty Cake Magic, and this one is from Ever After Diamonds. I am doing this in a round kit, and spoiler alert, I have already put some drills down because I really wanted to try it out, and it looks amazing already. It really does. I will link all of the sites that I got my various kits from down below. The next canvas that I am planning on doing is one of the Care Bear mini canvases from the Diamond Design Co. And I am planning on doing the pink Care Bear, obviously. And I'm really excited to get started on this one. I do have the Grumpy Bear one already about halfway done, and the rendering is fantastic, and the drills and the glue and everything has been very, very enjoyable to work on. And they're also one of our sponsors. And the last kit that I will be working on is a custom that I had made from Rokari, who is also a sponsor for our Pink and Black 2026 event. This one is called Cuddles versus Curses. And I gave her the prompt of, can you make me and Mushy into Powerpuff Girls? Obviously, I will be the cute pink Powerpuff Girl, and Mushy will be the edgier, spookier Powerpuff Girl. And Rokari Eve knocked it out of the park. I literally didn't give her any other prompts besides, I want to be a pink Powerpuff Girl and I want her to be a black Powerpuff Girl. Oh, speak of my co-host right now. She just sent me a voice clip. Let's see what she has to say.
If you're turning me into a cartoon again this year, Kristyn, I swear, there won't be enough Care Bears on this planet to protect you.
Oops. Somehow I think that she's going to retaliate against me during Pink and Black for turning her into a Powerpuff Girl. I might need some extra backup, Team Pink. Otherwise, I don't know what Mushy and Team Black are going to do to me for turning her into a adorable. I mean, look at how moody the Powerpuff Girl's moody. Okay, she just needs to chill. I'm sure she'll be fine, right? She's not going to do anything stupid, is she? No, she wouldn't. Just in case, though, maybe I should be watching my back. She might be calling the diamond painting police on me or something and send him over to my house. We don't want that, do we? No, we don't. So that's what I have on the agenda for the beginning parts of 2026. However, you never know what's going to happen. And I'm okay with that. I might just have to learn to go with the flow. I just want to take one last opportunity to say thank you all for hanging out with me right now for my premiere, but also for hanging out with me during the year of 2025. It's crazy to think that the year is almost over and we are right on the cusp of a brand new year. And I hope that it brings you joy and happiness. And if 2025 was challenging, then I hope 2026 is even better for you and you get a fresh start. Again, everything I talked about will be listed in the very, very, very full description box down below. Don't forget to stick around to the end of the video. I'd usually put bloopers at the end because I make a bunch of mistakes. That's going to be it for me today, guys. If you have not, please consider liking, subscribing, sharing, hearting, farting, doing all the things. And I will see you again very, very soon. Big awkward hugs. Bye, guys. We'll find out. Editing, Kristyn's going to have a grand old time with this one. Oh, yes. Lots of throat clearing and emming. Yeah. Woo. Oh, butter tray. Yum, 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 yum. Don't spill the Dr. Pepper. Don't spill the Dr. Pepper. No. We want to turn the canvas. Somebody did a bad job putting their drills in. Oh, wait, that's me. Salted butter. Salted butter. Salted butter, salted butter. Oh my gosh, that's a mess. Okay. Things that involve... Come on, get off there. Trash. Oh, God. Please tell me my head's not in the way. I keep sticking my hand there. Get your head out of the camera, Kristyn. Get your head out of the camera. I can't help it. I gotta look for this missing color. There's some in there. Quit telling me what to do. My gosh, so bossy. I'm so bossy to myself. My gosh. These are so crooked. Let's see some of the other messages she left me.
Kristyn, I have this inkling that you're filming today, and if that's the case, I certainly hope it's not something me as a cartoon again.
Oops.
Because otherwise, I'm gonna pay you a visit.
She's gonna come to Washington. Stop coughing. I probably forgot something. What did I forget? I'm not sure.
Kristyn. That's it. The gloves come off. You're in for it. Kristyn.
Maybe that's Mushy, and that's me. She's pulling me around in the sled. Yeah. She's doing my bidding. She is.
Again, I will roll that canvas and shove it right up your...
She's so mean. She's so mean.